Okay, so now you've got your long strip, and I'm going to show you how to join in this little part over here. Now, to do the smaller one, or to do both of them, we're going to have an extra one here. You're going to have it in the middle here, and then there's going to be one more over here, which is going to be longer than this one. So you're going to use the one in the middle, and you're going to have another one that's going to kind of would have been in the middle here. So this one is slightly longer. Now, for both sizes, I'm going to show you how to put this middle one in. So I'm going to show you how to put the middle one in, and then I'll show you how to do the longer one, because all of these now are going to be middle ones. So I'm going to show you now how to do that. So because this is the first one that we're putting in here, I've just left these 4 on. Basically what you're doing to join, like I said, you have your 4 sets of 4s, but now to join, you're always going to be joining 4 at the top. You're always going to be joining 4 at the top, but then your sides, you're joining 2 and 2. 2 and 2 to make 4. Okay, and then you're going to, so these you're not going to worry about. You're going to just ignore these ones here, and you're just going to be joining these 2 and these 2. So let me show you. I've done one whole one and I've got 4 left. So now I'm going to join these in here. Okay, so there's my middle. So now I've got these 4 left. This is the first one that I'm joining on here. So that's why I've only got these 4. So remember, I've got 4 of these over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We had left 4. You're going to just use 2 of these for this motif. That motif is going to use those 2. Okay, so this one's using these 2 from there, and it's using these 2 from the bottom one. And remember, these two have already been used, so you just ignore them. Okay, so you do your 3, and then go into the second one, underneath again, and just do a single crochet. So this is exactly the same as what you have been doing to join them. 3, and then I come in here. 1, 2, 3. Go into the second one. This is the last one on this motif. 1, 2, 3, and then go back into this one. And now we're going to go into the other one. 1, 2, 3. Now you're going to, because you've used these 2, you've used those 2, so now you need these 2. And just be careful not to use one of these by accident. Those 2 have been used, and you can see the single crochet in it. So you can see these 2 have got single crochet, so I don't use those. This is going to be the next one, these 2. So I'm going to go into this one, a single crochet, and then chain 3, and a single crochet in there. This is exactly the same, as I say, as what you've been doing, and then into the second one of this lot over here. That's the next one, and you just always have your yarn to the right of your hook. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and then this motif now is on, and then I just go in here somewhere. I find a good spot, and I actually just do a single crochet and bring this through. Okay, so this one is joined on in the middle. Now you do have a slightly bigger hole in the middle than the rest of them, but that's just the way this sweater is. That's how I'm doing it. I don't need something else coming in there. It just gets a little bit too confusing, and the end result is good. So now you see how to join a middle one. Now I'm going to show you how to do this one, and this one would be the same, the bottom one, this real bottom one. You're just going to join your 4. So in fact you can start off, I just did 4 here because I know I need 4 for the side, but you can start wherever you want to, but you've got to use these 4. So remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, and if you don't know, just count. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 there, 1, 2, 3, 4 there, so I should have 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so these are my 4, so that's the very first one that I would go into. So this is for the real bottom one, and 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and then go into this one. So this lot you have to do 4. So when you're connecting them from the top to the bottom, you have to connect the 4. I'll show you now what this looks like. 3, and then into this 4th one. I think that's 4. 1, 2, 3, and then into this one. Let's see. I want to know, I've got one more to do, and he's right over there. That's correct. So 1, 2, 3, and then I'll show you, because you've got to do the sides as well. 1, 2, 3. So now I've joined the top one onto there, but I've still got to join these two. So ignore those two, and I've still got to join these two. So as long as you're joining them one to the other, just remember you're joining 4 over here, and then 2, and then you borrow the other 2. As you do it, you'll see. Let me join this one now. I'll show you another one. I just wanted to get this one in. 1, 2, 3. This is just that real bottom one for both sizes. And you go in this one. So you only do 2 on your sides there from the one motif. Okay, now because this bottom one doesn't have another one over here, I can just go around and do my 6, and then this bottom one will be complete. So I'm going to do that, finish this one, and then I'm going to come up and I'm going to show you how to join this middle one to this one there and there. So let me show you that. Okay, so now I'm going to show you one that's going to be coming, that's going to join over here and over here. So, and this, you just keep doing this the whole way. If you just remember the basic steps that I said with your 4 and 4 at the top, and then just 1, 2 from each side, then you're going to be good. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to just start off from word go, and in fact, see, I've got to actually turn it around. This is the bottom, so don't lose where you are. This is my long piece, and this is the bottom. We're doing this all in one, your front and your back all together. And so that's why, but now I've got to flip this around, because else I can't join it properly. So I've got to turn it around, and I'm going to work from this way. And you'll see which works best for you. Sorry, I've got all these strands. I'm going to sew them in, but I want to just show you this. Okay, so now we're going to do this corner where I'm joining. I'm actually joining onto all 3 of these, because I've got to come in here. See, there's in between. You're always working in between your 2. So you can see for this one, I've got to join it onto there, I've got to join it onto there, and I've got to join it onto there. So let's see. Now remember, like I said to you, you're ignoring those 2, but you've got to use 2 of these. And you can always check to make sure you do, if you've got 2 left here, your motif is correct. Because if you crochet this wrong, you're going to have a problem somewhere. So I rather recheck mine over and over. So I'm going to be using these 2, and look, I've only got 2 left on this one, so that's great. And then this one, remember, because this one is in your straight line, you have to do all 4 of these. So when it's on top of each other like that, you've got to join them with the 4. But these you're only joining with the 2. And you'll see, I mean, once you start doing it, it's easy. You know, this isn't a hard join. It's just, if you haven't started your project, then it looks a little bit weird. Okay, so that was one join, and I'm going to do the other join. That's 2 on that side. 1, 2, 3, come back in here, and just remember you're going from this motif to this, to this, to this. Once you've done it on one side, you've got to go onto the other side. Whoops. Let's try that again. Okay, chain 3, and now we're going into this one's, these 2. So I'll go into this one, and remember you're always going under the chain space there. 1, 2, 3, come back in here. And then another chain 3, oops. 1, 2, 3, and then I should have one more on this motif, which I do. We'll do that. Then 1, 2, 3, back in here. Okay, now I've joined my 2 side ones. So your 2 side ones, you just 2, 2. Now for this one, I've got to use 4. So I've got to use 1, 2, 3, 4, and I should have 4 left. and I do 1, 2, 3, and I got 4 left. So that's perfect. So now you just do the same thing. So now you just do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, but I'm going with 4 of these. So there's number 1, 1, 2, 3, and in here. And that's really it to your joining. I'm trying to think if there's a... This is your most complicated join, the one where you're joining 3 of them. I don't think that there's a more complicated one. And just don't go more than 4 of these, because else you're going to be uneven with your joins. And in there, let's see how many I've done. 1, 2, I've got 1 more. And then you go in that one. And then 1, 2, 3. Now, because I got no more joins for this one, I just do my normal 6 chain and single crochet to finish the motif. See, so now I've joined another one. And it looks good. It's a nice join. So now to finish this one, whoops, you're just going to complete this with your 6 chain, single crochet, 6 chain, single crochet, and then you're going to just come back like you did that one up to here, and then you're going to bring your next motif, which uses these 2. So don't try and join this one with these 2. I need those 2 for this motif, but you'll see as you go. Yeah, so that's how you do your joins. Finish that and that. Now for your large size, you are doing 10 motifs going up, because you had 9 on this side. Now you're doing 10 going up here. For your small size, because you're only doing 3, so we're doing, for the large size, we're doing 4 of these, actually 5 of these. 1, 2, the next one I'll be splitting for the neck, and then you got another 2. That's for the large. For the small size, this is your middle one, and you have to leave a space here for your neck, because you're only having 1, 2, 3. So having said that, for your small size, you're only going to be joining 4 of these. 1, 2, 3. You're going to join 4 of them, and then I'll show you what to do. So if it's for your large size, go ahead and do 10 of these along this one. So large size, do 10. For the small size, I'll be back with you right now and show you how to do the rest. Okay, so if this clip here is just for the small. So if you're doing the large, you can go to the next clip, but this is just for the small one. Okay, now with a small, you do have 2 choices here. I told you originally to do 8 along here, which is great. That's going to give you a slightly shorter one. If you want to make yours longer, go with 10 along the one side. Now if you're going with, I'll tell you both situations here. If you go with 8, and you can add it on later, so if you're not sure if it's going to be too long, go with 8 first. Just go with 8, and then like I say, join your 4 on over here. Okay, like I said, just do 4. If you're going with 10, you would just add another one on down the bottom, and then you'd have to add another one on down here, which would give you 5. So if you're going with 10, you would go with 10, and then you would go with 5 here. With this one I'm showing you, you could have done 8 and then just 4, and then you stop. So you've joined it onto there, because you're only having 3 rows. You're having this shorter row, 1 long in the middle, and then your next row is going to be the shorter one, but it's going to be equal to this one. So that's how yours is going to lie, with this one little piece longer. And I think it looks nice, so you know, it's up to you as to how you want to do it, but that's the only way to make it smaller. Now if yeah, so you do that, so it's either 8 with 4 or it's 10 with 5, and then you stop here. Okay, so you've just gone up, you did your long strip, and then you stopped over here. Now you got to have a place for your neck to go, so we're going to leave this one open. So you do your either 4 or 5 ones over here, leave this one open, and then you're going to come back down here, and you're going to either put in your 4 or 5, whichever you have. 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. So that's what you're going to do then. That is your front and your back, and then you will be folding yours over. Either if you did 4 here, you'll be folding it over here, so that would be your front, and then your back would come this side, so it would lie like that. and obviously you'd have another one over here. So that would give you your next motif is going to lie right over here. It's going to be equal to that, and it's going to lie just right there. So this would be for your neck, and then go down, and as I say, as long as you want it. So I'm just showing it to you in this full length. So now what you do, you skip this one and come in between the next 4 or 5, whichever length you've decided to go with. That's what you're going to do. Then you're going to make another long strip, as I said, for your other piece here. So you have 3 here, and this one is going to be exactly the same as this. If you did 8 over here, you're going to do 8 on this side. If you did 10 over here, you're going to do 10 on this side. Just remember, the middle one has the longer piece at the bottom. So your next one will come in here, and you'd either do 8 or 10 going up there. So you have this one long, and then it will equal out for your neck. But now with the next one, remember, you're not doing a neck, you're just going all the way up like you did here. And that's how you do your one. Now I'm going to show you how to put some sleeves on as well, but I'll show you that when I do the sleeves with the large. But this is just so you can get your body right. So that is for the small, and the next clip is going to be for the large. Okay, so now for the large, the previous clip was for the small. Now for the large, we are doing, like I said, you first made your long row of 9. That's your long row of 9. Now we just keep going up on our next row, and see, this one is your longer one. So this one is long, and you keep going up, and you're going to keep going all the way till you have 10 of these for your next row. So this row's got 9, this row's got 10. Then our next row, we're going to have to leave a place for our neck, and that's what I'm going to show you. So you continue doing your motifs so that you have this row with 9 and this row with 10, and then I will meet you back here. Okay, so this is for the large still. I will get back to the small, but I just have to get the large caught up to where the small one is. So what you've done is you did your first row, which has got 9 motifs in it. Then you got your second row, which has got 10. And remember, we started with one lower than that. Okay, and I did show you how to do that. Now with this third row over here, you can see you've got it going down like this. With your third one, you're starting one even lower. Now when you're doing it lower, you're going to start on, you're going to count 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be the bottom 2 that you're going to be using. So for example, if this is where I'm going to start my next one, I'll be starting it with these 2, keeping this for the next motif. So it will be these 2 that you start off when you're going lower down. So just remember that for when you're doing these, and then you're going to come up with the rest of them. But this one, you are only going to be using 5 motifs going up. So you got 5 motifs, and then you're going to stop. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you're not going to fill in this one. This is where your neck is going to be. So you're going to leave this one, and then you start the next one over here. So and this one's also going to have 5 following it. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the last one here, 5. So you'll have your 2 full rows and then 2 half rows like that. And then your next rows are going to be exactly the same as this one. You're going to have one longer row, shorter than this, but it's longer than the end one. So now we're going to start, I'm starting with my next motif, and I'll show you, I'll do it with you. My next motif is going to come in here. And see, I'm using these bottom 2. The only thing that you've really got to be aware of is which motifs, which chain spaces you're joining onto which, because you don't want to join the wrong one. And you'll soon figure out if you haven't. If you're joining the wrong one, you're going to have a bigger hole here. So as long as all of these holes are pretty much the same, you'll see that you are fine. But so monitor that, because I did make a mistake on one of mine, and I had a big huge hole here, and I thought, what did I do? So I had to pull that one out, and I saw exactly what it was that I did. But that's just what I'm basically giving you an overall of this. For the small one, you're just having the 3. So at this stage, you're still okay as well. And once I've caught up with the large, I'll get back to how you do the small one. But yeah, I'm going to show you now. I'll join this bottom one on with you. So if this is the third, the middle row, and then I'll show you from there. Okay, so that's the furthest one outside. That's the next one. Now the row 3, you have to come in even further down over here. So we're going to have to start with, you're going to skip this one, and we're going to use these 2. So the furthest 2 out of the 4 is where we're going to start with our next motif. So you just, like you do all the rest, chain 3, go into this one. So remember, it's the 4th. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's what's going to make your motif longer than the other one. We've got it. You've done your 2. Now you're not going to be using these 2. Okay, see, now you've got that one long, this one is longer than that one, and this one is longer than that one. They're going down kind of in steps. It's hard to show you, but that one is higher up than this one. Just going down in a bit of a step. But now you're not going to, as I say, you're not going to use these 2 because that's going to be for this motif that's coming in the middle. So you're just going to use these 2, and then you're going to just go around this one like normal with 6, 5, 6, and then go in here, and you're going to go all the way around with this motif. So that's how you do the 3rd row, the beginning for the 3rd row. Just do these 2 and leave those 2 and come all the way around and finish over here. And that's pretty simple for that one. And then you're only going to do 5 motifs. Remember, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then you have a big space here for your neck. So you would leave the next round space, you would leave that one open there. So yeah, that's your 3rd, that's actually your middle row that you're doing. So keep going with the next lot here until you've got your 5 motifs, and then I'm going to show you how to do the next row. So get that lot done and I'll show you how to do the next row. I'm just showing you this one again because this seems to be a little bit more of a complicated one for whatever reason, being at the bottom. These ones aren't too bad, but be very careful when you're joining yours because it's really easy to make a mistake. Be very aware of the, like I said, the 4 at the top, the 4 at the side, and the 4 on the bottom. Because as long as you keep that in remembrance, it shouldn't be too hard. If your motifs are not working, it's because somewhere you've done something wrong, and it happens to all of us. It really is really easy to do that. So just be overly cautious. Sew your black in, because if you have made a mistake, you can pull it out. So I'm very careful not to sew that in. But yeah, so just be careful. Now just remember that we've got 4. The 4, you've got to join 4 here, because these joined by 4, then the other 2 from this one. You're not joining 2 there because this one is lower down. So when you're doing it, you know, if you do it with the video, you'll be able to understand more. If you're just watching the video, it's a little bit harder. But you're going to do these 4, these 2, and then these 2. This is where you're going to put this motif in there, because it's coming in between there. So you're just going to do your 3 and then go into, remember you got 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got to go in this one first. One more here. So now I've done these 4. Now we've got to go into these 2. So okay, so we did those 4, we've done these 2, and now we've got to do these 2 over here. And just remember, go according to your little hole here. See, basically that's the size of this hole. That's stretched out a bit. But if it's much bigger or smaller, you've done something wrong. And you don't want to see that, because then you got to unpick it somewhere. So let's go into these 2. I went into those 4, these 2, and these 2. And that's it, because now he's in the middle. You can see how it's connected there, there, and there. So now I'm just going to go and finish this with 6 chain, single crochet, and go all the way around. And as I say, just keep counting. Make sure that you do have 16 little loops, because on the one I had 15, so I had to undo that one. So do that, and then these ones are pretty easy because you're doing the same thing. You're going to go in with these 4, these 2, these 2. And just do that till you have 5 for your middle, and then I'll help you with the rest. Okay, I thought I would just show you one of the mistakes. Now, it's when I don't concentrate that I make a mistake. Now, and I was trying to join this one in, and I'm thinking, what is going on? And it took me a while. Maybe you can see where I've gone wrong. Well, I didn't join these two on to here to close it in and then come with my next one. So be aware of those are the little things I'm talking about, and you'll sit there and think, where did I go wrong? That's a silly mistake. I suppose a tip I can give you is we must have 3 motifs joined. So if you can remember that, that helps as well. Except for your beginning one. The beginning one, I think you also had 3. So basically you want 3 motifs joined. 1, 2, 3. And if I could have kept that in my mind, I would have picked it up even quicker because I've only got 2. So just bear that in mind. And the other tip to give you is be aware of which way your motifs are lying. Because if you come in and you've worked all this together and you suddenly say, oh my word, I've got this one and he's upside down, there's no ways. Well, you would have to unpick a lot of work, and that's actually hard because depending on how you've joined your motifs, you might not always be able to get to that thread. So don't do this in a place where you can't concentrate properly, because as I say, if you've got a motif upside down and it's in the middle of your work and you only recognize it afterwards, it's a bit of a struggle. It really is. So just be aware of that, and remember you're joining 3 motifs at once. That'll try and help you with a few tips. Okay, so we've done 1, 2, this is the middle row, and now I'm going to do this row over here. So we've got this one and this one to do. So this one now is not as, it's coming up, so we're not starting at the bottom like I showed you that one. We're going to do this one in the middle because he's coming up 1 and then the next one comes up 1 more. So for this one we'll start now. This is where you don't do 3 motifs. Like I said, you're always joining 3 motifs, but on your bottom ones you're not. I'm just going to be joining these 2 and these 2. So you do your 3 and then you come into the low one, okay, not the high 4th, but this low one over here, because if I went in that high one, it's going to put it directly next to this one, which is what I don't want. I want it in the middle. So I'm just going to borrow 2 from this motif and join it that way. So yeah, just do that. I'll just show you. So yeah, so I've just taken 2 from this one, and I'm going to go into these 2 over here, and then I will just finish my motif with 6 and finish over there. The other thing just to remember is that your 2, as you go up, what I realized which will help you is one motif is like this one. For this motif you got 4 here, so I'll be using these 2, but now on the next motif I've only got 2. And that's an easier one, but that's your 2 scenarios. You're either going to have 4 here, or if I've used those 2, you're going to see your next ones and you've got 2 there. So yeah, just a little side note there. But yeah, so for this one, this is how you join the bottom, then all the rest are the same. And this one you're going all the way up, and we had 10 motifs. Then you're going to do another row where you have the 9 motifs on the side, and they go all the way up. When I get to where I did the neckline, I'll show you how to just keep going straight. Just keep going straight. I'll show you that. Okay, so what I want to do is show you a mistake that I've made, and it is too far gone. I've already done too much to unpick everything to make this fixed. I was supposed to, that's why I say remember you're joining 3 motifs. It was this one, and this one, and I didn't join these 2. So now I have a problem because these 2 are not joined. So all that I'm going to do to solve this, now this one is solvable, it's not a motif that's the wrong way. I've just taken a needle and thread, and I'm going to sew it, and I'm coming in on the wrong side. You want your, I've just got a knot at the end of mine, and I'm just going to come in, let me draw you a little closer. I'm just going to come in over here, and it's just these 2 loops that need to be joined. Okay, so it's just these 2. So I'm going to just kind of bring my needle and thread and go to the middle of this one here, and I'm just going to join it, sew it onto this one like that. There's nothing to it and it's not a problem. There's always some way to fix it. Now I want to stabilize it more, so I'm going to come back here and I'm going to just do that. In fact, I'm going to go over it again just to be sure that it's nice and tight. Now I'm just going to come back through here, and I need to get to the middle of this one. So I'm just going to come through there, and there I'm in the middle, and I'm going to join this one to this one. So I'm going to just come across, go in there, come back here, and voila, the problem is solved. So there we go. And I'm going to just come back here and bring this to the other side, because remember, this is my right side. I did it on the right side because you're not going to really see it. And I'm going to just bring my needle through to this side, and then I will sew it in. I'm not going to sew it in quite yet, just in case. I just a little bit erotic of sewing my black thread in quite yet, simply because of the mistake I made there. Very easy to make a mistake. It happens to us all, so don't get discouraged if you're struggling, you know. But anyway, so I've come, this is the 1, 2, 3, the fourth one. This is my middle row, and we stopped here for the neck. Now what I have to do is, I want to continue with this row, and it's got to join onto this one. So, because this is my middle one and this is my middle one, so I'm doing one straight one all the way across. So we now have to get another motif in here, and I want to show you how to do that. Alright, so what we're going to do is, we're going to go into these 4 over here. That's going to be for your, this is going to be for your neck here, and we've got to go into this one, and we're going to be joining it onto this middle one. So we're going to use these 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I should have 4 left, 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's correct. So we're going to go into this one, and we're going to do the exact same thing. I'll just get it started here, and then I'll show you. Okay, so you're going to go into these 4, and then you're going to go into these 2, and then you don't have a third one to go into. So you're just going to go all the way around with 6 until you get back to this side. So do that one. So you're joining with these 4 and these 2, and you can see you've got 4 left here, which would be correct if I had one in here. So do that one, and then I'll show you how to join this one, and then we'll just keep going. Alright, so when you get to your neck, as you'll see, you've done your 5 in the middle, and you've done your next row that's coming up next to it, and you're wanting to join it to the next, to this row. So you have, this is your neck area here. It's a little hard for me to show you. That's your middle one, and this is your middle one. Okay, and then this is the row that's coming on the outside, and you're wanting to join it onto this one after the neck. What you have to do is you've got to make sure you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 here, because you've got 4 there. So for this one, you just join it onto here. You just join this one on with 4. Then you crochet 2 of your 6 chain, and you're going to go into the first 2 of this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to go into this one. So the key here is that you just crochet 2 chain spaces. Okay, and that's going to match this one on this side that's got 2 chain spaces open. It's going to be the same as that one. So that's very important. You don't want to miss that, because else you're going to mess up your motif. So wherever you're joining your neck, and you're joining this side piece now onto this center one, this is what you do. Just make 2 chain spaces, and then you're going to go into this first 4th one. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to just continue as you have been with the rest of your, you'll go into the first 2 of these, and you're just going to continue doing what you were doing. But the key here is that you skip those first 2, and that's unusual because we haven't done that in any of this pattern. So, but you have to do that to get your neck correct. See, so now this one matches with that one, because that's got 2 there. This has got 2, this has got 4, this has got 4, and these 2 have got 2. So this side piece has got 4, and this side piece has got 4, and that balances your top out. So just be aware of that, that you do your first 2, and then you just finish your motif like normal and add the rest of your pieces on. Okay, so for your small, it's exactly the same thing. Everything that I'm showing you is exactly the same, the joining, everything, except you're using less motifs. For your middle, you're using 4 motifs, then you skip the one over here, and then you go to the next one and you finish with your next 4 motifs. So it's exactly the same, except you've got 4 motifs over there, and you've got your 8 running down the side. And as I say, if you want to make your top longer than what it is, you can come back and do it. This is the bottom of the top. Well, this is for the large, but the small is, you'd have your 3 motifs. I just don't have my last row in here. All you would do is just put in extra motifs down the bottom if you want to. That's not an issue if you wanted to make yours longer. But anyway, so you'll go ahead and finish your last 2 rows of motifs, and I'm going to show you how to put the sleeves on. So you're going to be putting the sleeves on. But finish the rest of your top and then I'll show you the sleeves.